All right, guys, today I want to talk about the jab, okay? In my opinion, it's the most important strike you'll ever learn in fighting, period, whether you're a boxer, you're a kickboxer, MMA, self-defense. Regardless, I think it's the most important strike you'll ever learn, all right? And the reason being is when we're taught to fight in any capacity, we're taught a fighting stance. And off of our fighting stance, our jab is our lead. Now, the great thing about our jab is it's the closest thing to my opponent other than my lead leg. And kicks are always a risky thing in self-defense, because if I throw a kick and he catches it, it's a problem now. He might not even know what he's doing, but everyone understands grabbing a leg and getting someone to the ground. But the reason why I think the jab is so important is it does a myriad of different things. It controls distance, for example. He's not getting anywhere near me if I keep pumping that jab in his face, right? If he's a lot faster than me, which he is, and he's moving around, I can negate speed with the jab. Just put the jab out there, he has to respect it. No matter if he's 10 times faster than me, he has to respect my jab when I put it out there. Because if he's, a lot faster than me and not doing anything, and I put a couple jabs up there, he's gonna get popped, right? He doesn't want that. Now, from a more, maybe law enforcement point of view, it's a great way to get a takedown. I'm dealing with someone who I need to get to the ground and neutralize the situation. I can come up here a couple of times and then run in on a takedown. And that's why I say it's so important, because it's not just important from a striking point of view, it's important from a grappling point of view. If you look at MMA, the guys like George St. Pierre, right? He was the best at shoot boxing, using strikes instead of takedowns. That's why he took everyone down. And if you watch, what was his best strike? It was a jab. And then he threw it a little bit differently. He threw kind of a power jab, which can be risky because it can be countered. Typical jabs where I'm out here and I'm just moving, I'm circling, right? And I'm not, my knees are bent for balance. The power jab he threw was more bent and he stepped in on it. Now, the great thing about those, it's a power jab. It's gonna hurt more than just pumping that out there, because there's a little, sitting down on it, there's a little bit more on it. Triple G, the boxer, throws his jab like this as well. But it comes down to preference, and I think it's good to be able to throw different types of jabs. If I'm just boxing someone and I'm not worried about kicks, I'll power jab all day because I don't have to worry about him chewing up my leg. Now, from a kickboxing point of view, that power jab isn't the best idea, because if I sit down on it, it's going to be really hard to defend this and to counter it, because I'm so committed and my weight's over it, right? I don't want that. Me, since I kickbox most of the time rather than just box people, I want to be able to throw a jab, and if he throws a kick, to be able to check it, to be able to defend it, right? So you guys have to develop your own way of throwing. Me, my whole style of martial arts, whether it's takedowns, ground, stand-up, is low risk, high reward. You're not going to see me do anything too crazy, because why take that risk when I can be just as effective doing something simple? Not the most exciting thing to watch, but it's effective. And at the end of the day, after 20 years in kickboxing, I really haven't taken a whole lot of damage. Granted, I've only had a couple of fights, but I haven't taken a lot of damage. That's thousands and thousands of rounds of sparring, right? Key is chin down, hands up, and notice I'm already loading the punch up into my knees and hips, and then I just rotate the lead side of my body, and there it is, right? Okay, that's just for the standard jab. If I want a power jab, then it's more, I'm stepping in, right? You guys are gonna have to find what works for you. Do them both, right? Because GSP was in a sport that wasn't just boxing. It had elements of kicks and takedowns, and he destroyed people with this. He wouldn't knock them out, but he would destroy them, right? So you guys just have to find what works for you, and you have to spar. Doing this in drills isn't enough. You have to spar and figure out how you set it up, how it works. And it's the only strike that I can throw moving forward, moving backwards if he's coming in, moving to the side, moving to the other side. It's versatile, which is why it's so important. Its versatility, its uses, its ability to set up other punches, ability to set up other kicks, ability to set up takedowns, or be used as a weapon by itself is why I think it's so essential. So regardless of why you want to learn martial arts or why you learn striking, develop a great jab, because everything else will come off of it. And it makes you a better fighter, it makes you better at defending yourself, it makes you better at taking people down, better at kicking off of it. You have to develop those other tools. But if you develop a good jab that works, then everything else that you develop in your martial arts arsenal will benefit. So that's why I think it's the most important strike in fighting. It's the most important strike anyone will ever learn. You guys just got to understand, you know, keep your chin down, your hands up, and understand how to move and not stay in one place. Again, that's why I like the jab, because I can pop them a couple times, move off of it. I'm in no danger, right? Yeah, see wherever he's going, I can pop a jab out. It doesn't matter. But you guys have to get out and get in the gym and put work in it and develop the jab. I've developed a specific way I do it. I mix it up sometimes. Sometimes I sit down on it for the power jabs, especially if I'm boxing someone. But most of the time I'm just popping it quick, 2 or 3 in a row, and throwing a right hand. 2 or 3 in a row, and throwing a kick. You know, I don't really, in kickboxing class, take people down, and in my grappling, I just tend to just shoot or throw someone. I don't do MMA anymore, so I'm not using the jab in that way. But as you can see, it makes everything in your game better. You just need to develop it, all right? And that's why I feel the jab is the most important strike you'll ever learn.